Alright, here we go. Hey! So is this going to actually put out to... So... Alright, we're gonna go for it. Stream status is poor now. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. What does that mean? So I'm not actually live. So how does this even... So it's unlisted. So, I'm not really sure how this... Keyframe frequency of 4 seconds. I don't know. Oh, is it giving me an ad? Hey, so I guess I am live, but how does this even sound? Oh, wow. Oh, that sounds bad. Hey, how does that sound? How is that microphone sounding? Hey. Hey, how is the microphone sounding? It sounds better, but still bad. Oh, that's why it's not stereo. Is that better? Is that better? Hello, hello. This thing's got pretty good. Cam link. BenQ. Brio?
Hey, how does that sound? Hello.
Hey, how's that sounding?
Hey, how are we sounding on this one? This one sounds a little bit better. All right, hello. Well, that's what we're going with. All right, so I've got one viewer, and that's me. So chat. Okay. All right. I think we're live. I don't actually know if this is going to update with this or not. So, it's kind of where we're at. I don't know if my audio is bad. But yeah, I guess there's nobody in the chat. Let's see here. Alright, so the idea here is we're going to be doing some sort of emulation testing. Oh, hey. We have somebody in here. Fern? Alright. This is the first time streaming, so... Okay, Devin's here too. Testing the live stream to make sure it doesn't look terrible. We're supposed to be doing the emulation testing with some other stuff at 6, but it took me 40 minutes to try and figure out that you can't launch a vertical live from the desktop. So there was an issue with that. But we'll get on with the testing. This is the Anbernic RG406V. So, I mean, we can go through and try and test something else, but this is basically going to give you a GameCube power. So, and up to the PS2, which is kind of cool. Let's see here if I can actually... And let's get OBS over here. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can get chat open in another window. Does not look like it, so, alright. Alright. Let's go through and get us a game going. Rising Zan, Samurai Gundam. That one usually stops after one level on bad emulation. Oh, is it for PS2? PS1. There you go. I'll see if it's on here. This is not my card. This is the one that came with the Anbernic one, so it's hit or miss on what there actually is. Let's see here. Mario Galaxy. I don't know if I have that one on here. I've got just a few of the GameCube and Wii games on here. I'd have to offload some of that. So, I mean, I can go through and kind of... We could start with a console anybody wants to see on the 406V. I also have a bunch of other handhelds we got here. So I have the Miyu Mini, the Anbernic RG35XX Plus, the Trim UI Brick, and well, pretty much anything I've done a review on is still sitting around here. The Powkiddy, I think this is the V10. I like this one for specifically Game Boy Advance. Snoops. I actually really like the 406V. The 406V I really think does a good job of being like an emulator you want to play on the couch, but maybe not play on like a road trip or something. Not even a road trip. It'd be okay in the car, but like playing this on like a bus or something might be a little cumbersome, like putting it in and out of your bag a lot. Because these sticks, man, they're just a little tough. They just stick up so high, and like, not my favorite. Yeah, Fern, I read the Powkiddy V10. This thing, if you're just getting it for Game Boy Advance games, this thing's awesome. They also have a somebody made a 3D printed shell backplate, so you can actually swap out the battery and make it a little bit smaller from one of the other Powkiddy devices, and it actually goes completely. I'm putting it here, but it'll go completely flat. So then the device is like half as thick. I haven't done that mod yet, but I think that would be cool to do. The A30. The 406H. I don't know if I still have the 406H kicking around here. I can go look for it after we go through a few of these. And the Miyu A30, I know, I actually have the A30 right here. Yeah, I have the A30 here. But honestly, I rarely play this thing. It looks cool, and it's a great idea of like just putting this in your bag and pretty much keeping it in your bag forever. But it's weird. It's like, I don't know why I'm still wearing headphones. It's so small, and I feel like the screen not having like a lens on it, I feel like it's just not, this thing's not going to hold up. It's going to get so scratched. But I do like it. So if you're willing to take the gamble on the screen, it's fine. If I'm bringing something this size, I know this looks a lot bigger in comparison, the V10, the Powkiddy V10. But man, it feels so much better playing on a screen this size versus a screen this size. But that's also because I'm pretty sure this is a micro handheld and this is a regular sized emulation handheld. Oh, yes, I do have the Anbernic SP as well. This is actually one of my favorite handhelds, and I actually ended up putting MUOS, I don't know how they pronounce it. But yeah, this is the one I ended up taking on a bunch of vacations and going, like, if you're only buying one retro emulator, I would recommend buying this one, because it's awesome. Being able to just quickly close it and then dump off to something else. It's so easy. It's so easy to put into your bag and just not care about it. And with the different operating system on here, it feels great. So loading up like a Game Boy Advance game. The little bezel and logo feels great. Let me move the chat over here. There we go. Now I can see that a little bit better. Let me turn off the volume here. Oh, on certain emulators, they don't actually turn off. So that's funny, because I thought it was a cool idea on how they actually did the latching mechanism here with the magnets, but I didn't know. So I thought it was a resume state. So like if you have it closed for more than a specific amount of time, it'll actually shut the screen off, and then after like, I think you can change it in the settings where it'll be like after like 5 minutes or something, you'll end up completely like turning it basically into like a hibernate mode where it's like still on, but it's just saved and it's sitting there pretty much not taking up any power. But if it's per emulator, that's weird. I guess I really only use this for mostly Game Boy Advance games. Game Boy Advance, Pico 8, and some DS games are realistically all I'm playing on this thing. So when all of that at least worked for me. It won't go to sleep with the DS. Okay, let me check it out then. I mean, that's what this stream's for, right? Let's see here. We'll load up Mario Kart here and see what if it actually gets it going. So let's see here. I think it scales so well to the DS. Alright, so let's pause it and then... So I don't know. You know, I can't really tell because I see the green light stays on. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it actually is if it's going to go to sleep or not. It might actually have to like fully go down. Snoop, I actually really like the battery on this. I have had no issues with the battery. It's a, what is this? This is a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and I haven't had any issues with it. I also think, I took this on a 2-week vacation, and I think I charged it 3 times. That was just like playing games on the train and like playing on like stuff where I'd be like sitting waiting for the bus or waiting for the ferry or whatever. That's when I would use it, and it was great because I just clap it, throw it in there, and honestly, if I was playing Nintendo DS and it wasn't even going to sleep all the way, I probably didn't even notice it because the screen's jet, so it's not going to do anything. Oh, so you end up changing the sleep timer. It might just be a weird thing with Nintendo DS. Maybe try reinstalling MUOS and see if it changes that. Probably won't, but it's worth a try. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. Haven't had any issues with the sleep. But what do you think? Retro Handhelds 24. When do you think Anbernic is releasing their next device? Or line of devices, I should say. For Anbernic, you got me, man. The amount of people that are... Not amount of people. The amount of handhelds that are getting released by Anbernic is kind of crazy. Last year, I think I had like 10 or 15 reviews just for Anbernic devices. I mean, you end up having the Anbernic... What are these? The 35XX Plus, which they did like 3 revisions of that, which they were very small revisions, so I think they were just batches with a little bit different naming. But then they also did the 406, the 406V and H, and then they did just a ton. So I would assume at least 1 a quarter And it may even just be the stuff where it's like once a quarter, or once or twice a quarter, maybe even, they'll be doing like something that's going to be like I guess an Android-based one, a Linux-based one, and then, I mean, honestly, I just went over their, I've got their controller too, their Anbernic controller. They're probably going to make more of those because they did really well with that one. So, who knows? Alright, looking through the chat here. Goyo Freeses? I don't know how to pronounce that, but the Trim UI brick, I really like that one too. I think they did a really, really nice job with the fit and finish of the back panel to the front display here. This thing looks awesome, and I really, really like this thing. If you're looking for a small handheld, I think this is as small as I would go, but I mean, you can also see how big my hands are, so there's a little bit of a difference when I say the 406V is a comfortable device for me, because that's just what it is. It is comfortable. Yeah, because look at the size comparison here. It's kind of crazy. Let's see here. Death Bob, I think you're talking about the stock firmware. So they updated the stock OS for the Anbernic. I'd be willing to give it a try. Honestly, I've been liking Anbernic's stock software more and more. The stuff on the Android handhelds is awesome. I think they did a great job with just making exactly, I mean, the stuff that they have here, making it exactly what the console system is, labeling it, just giving it a color, and going in and out of that. And also, them having a button to be able to switch between their front end and back to Android rocks. So I think they're doing great with their software. Oh, let's see here, Snoops. After the GBA 34XX, I'm guessing a DBS. Maybe. I think it's tough with DS hardware because you're going to be paying for two screens. So like when you compare something like this to something like this, you're comparing essentially two screens and the same amount of buttons. You're doubling your biggest investment on the thing, which is one of the screens. I mean, they're usually a big cost of the device. So my guess is it won't be a $50 handheld. My guess is it'll be something between $75 and like $100, but I'd be in for it. But man, these DSs are they're so small already. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see what they could do with it. Let's see here. You want a Trim UI Brick Pro. Bigger and better with ventilation for the heat. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool if they made something that's got, it'd be tough to nail a good screen for that. I wonder if they did like a square aspect ratio screen and made it play up to like the PS2. I think that would rock. But then they'd have to do what they did with the 406V. They'd have to do little joysticks or something at the bottom or put it somewhere. And at that point, I think a vertical or a horizontal handheld is better for that. Let's see here. I saw that the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 was coming out, Retro Handhelds 24. I also didn't see, like, do they have a listing up yet? I haven't looked yet. I'm also streaming on my Steam Deck, so resources are limited. Let's see here. I'm also not sure if this is streaming to vertical live or if this is streaming just to regular live. So if this is not like streaming to vertical live, I'll have to switch this for next time and do it differently. Oh, I'll have to check it, because if there are colors out, I'll probably at least decide on what colors I want. Flip 2. Let's see here. The 4 different colors. Oh, awesome! Thanks, Snoops. That's how I was hoping it would put this. It doesn't show me on my end though. It looks like I'm just streaming to a 16:9, and there are bars on the side. So at least it's going to the right spot. Looking at the Retroid Pocket Flip 2, I actually have the. Where's the other one? There, I'll go grab the other Retroid Pockets, and we can talk about that for a second. Alright, so for the Retroid ones, I feel like they do really well with their fits and finishes. And I feel like they've gotten some crazy colors recently. Let's see here. Images. Looks like the Flip 2... Oh yeah, I'm looking at the colors now. So it looks like there's an ice blue, a purple Game Boy style, or GameCube style colorway like this, a black, and a, like, I guess a gray with the purple buttons. The ice blue one looks absolutely dope. I would absolutely get that one. Because I don't have a previous one. If they're going to use the same shell as like this type of plastic, which, I mean, if you saw the video on, if you saw the video I did on the most recent Retroid Pockets here, I don't actually, you love the Mini? I actually really like the Mini too. I think they nailed the screens, but I dislike a lot that they have the joysticks flipped for this one. I wish it was better, because I absolutely cramp up when I play this, because, I mean, when you're holding it, I mean, the thing is so small in your hands, and it's just, for me to have my things, I have to, like, do this weird claw grip to keep it like this for a while. So, I don't know why they changed from the chunky back triggers and the just regular form factor, which I thought fit well when you hold it with your pinky. But, I don't know, maybe they were just trying to make their product line look more cohesive. I know, it looks like the Flip looks way better. I just saw a picture of it, and it's got, I mean, it's basically exactly like this one, but it has the clamshell screen, so you're going to be able to have something big and chunky to hold on to, and probably a bigger screen, too. So, I'll definitely make sure we get that in for the channel. I know. This is actually something I'm kind of excited about, because after going back through and looking at the SP here, and I absolutely loved having this traveling. Throwing this in your bag and not caring about it, and just scratching it. Like, I've got scratches on it, and I abused it like I originally abused my Game Boy Advance SP, and it was so much. It was not so much. It was such a breath of fresh air, not having to care about the screen or care about it. If it's in a little bag or like a protector or something. So it was nice, and I think I haven't gotten a Flip previously, so I think I'm definitely going to get one this time and do a review on it, because I was like, it's kind of chintzy. It felt like the Ion Neo Pocket, not Ion Neo, the one that's, it's a PC handheld that's like $1,200 that has a screen and like the big divots for joysticks. I wasn't a fan of that one either, so I just didn't really get into the whole Flip thing. But this might be one that actually goes right into that gap, and if it's a decent price, then I think it'll be worth buying. So, plus the blue one looks really cool, the like ice blue looking one. I think I'll end up with that one. Oh, the 2 different chipsets will be cool, so that'll be a different price point too. It having a different price point too, which is, I think, really nice for the Android ones, because I actually end up getting the cheaper ones, because I think the lower end version of the Android ones, I mean, how much heavy gaming are you going to be doing on an Android handheld anyway? I mean, if you're doing like something like Diablo Immortal or something like that a lot, maybe you want the extra power, but I don't really see myself emulating like anything past like PS2 on any of these. So I'm not going to be playing anything like PS3 or Switch emulation. I'm going to do that on like my Steam Deck or something bigger where I can see more of the pixels. So I think that's why the Retroid Pocket Mini actually ends up being a pretty cool pickup, because this one with the smaller screen and the D-pad on the top, just having that sharp OLED screen, you can actually play. I just did a short on this one. You could play like some newer 8-bit games like Hunt Down or something. That rocks on this device. So yeah, I mean, the original idea for this stream here was to look at emulators and kind of just test anything out anybody was interested in. So if anybody's interested in anything like hardware wise, because I'm not going to be able to like grab a game from my collection and put it onto a device, that'll take too long, but we could look at any sort of emulator that I have laying around here, and I have a lot of them. So if anyone's interested in a specific one, give me a shout out and I'll let you know if we have it. Oh yes, thank you. No, go away. Yeah, if anybody hasn't played it yet, I know this is not an emulated game. This is a Play Store game, and I also got it on this. It's on the Steam store as well. It rocks. It is also. So this is what it looks like when it's not cleaned. So it's the only downfall to Retroid's new design. Is the bezels look awesome, but holy crap, they are so fingerprinty. And I don't think, without cleaning them or having like a little rag to just wipe them off, it doesn't. It gets so dirty. That looks better. But yeah, if you guys haven't played Hunt Down yet, this game is awesome. 3DS on the Retroid Pocket 5. The 3DS actually isn't that bad. But again, it's like, for me, stuff that's very specific, like, it's hard for me to recommend something like the 3DS on a console that's not the 3DS, because it was kind of designed for 2 screens. I know there's a lot of games that do, like, you can play the games with just 1 screen, and that's fine, but it isn't the same feel, having to faff about with different emulator settings and touchscreen and not touchscreen, and having to change all that is kind of a pain. Let me see here. Plus, Nintendo's been cracking down on quite a lot of these apps. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't even think I showed it in my last video, because I was like, I'm not interested in fighting with Nintendo over some other stuff. I don't know if it was Citra. Oh, I don't have the SD card in here. It does work, though, but I'm just not a fan of it on 16:9 screens. I know some people can get away with it, but I wasn't a fan of if you're looking for like 3DS emulation, honestly, I would just go pick up an old 3DS. They're not that expensive if that's what you're specifically doing. And yeah, drastic was removed, so it's like you're gonna have to side load it, an old version of it, kind of like how they took down like Yuzu and stuff like what was it? The Switch emulators for Android. They took those off, so they're kind of stuck in the last updated version of them. So it's the same deal now with the 3DS. So honestly, I would just get a cracked 3DS. That's just, for me, that's what was better. But what else can we talk about? Did anybody get their hands on any of the Ein products for like the Mini or the Odin? I know the Odin was really popular, but I have actually been really liking the what is this? The PSP version, or the what is this? The PS Vita version of the Portal. Was it the Ioneo Pocket Micro? I can't remember. There's so many damn names. I have to usually look them up. Is the Portal out yet? The Ein Portal? I didn't know it was out yet. The Odin 2 Portal. So it's on pre-order. Oh, is there two versions of the Portal? Odin 2 Mini, that's what this one is. This one I really like because it is really bright. But for the Odin... Oh, so there's the Odin 2 Portal, which is a 1080p 7-inch AMOLED screen for $329. That's actually not too bad. See, here's where it gets kind of crazy, is when you originally get like a system like this, and the base cost is $329, and they change it to the Pro and the Max, which is, they just add, so what, you go from $330 to $400 to $500 for the Max. That's like a crazy swing in price. And what is the difference? It's like it's not different screens or anything, it's always different, I guess, different CPUs and storage and stuff like, yeah, storage and RAM. So I guess 8 gigs of RAM to 16 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage to a terabyte of storage, which you don't need a terabyte of storage on a freaking Android gaming device. At least I don't think so. Hey Buster, what's going on, man? I don't think I've seen you in comments before, but good to see you here. This is the first stream we're doing vertically, so welcome. Oh man, they get you with the color on those. So that was the other thing with at least the... Oh yeah, I'm looking on their website now, and it's the color of the base is just black. I see what you're saying. So that was the other tough thing. I mean, I normally just buy black consoles anyway, because I don't normally need any crazy colors if I'm gonna be traveling with it or anything. But like, when it's like a retro remake like this, I usually get something cool, because these don't come in like crazy colors. It's always going to be like black, white, or like, I don't know. Retroid does a few. I mean, look at the Retroid Pocket 5 compared to this one, which I actually really like both of these consoles. Nice, you're getting yourself a Vita. Once you get it, make sure to jailbreak it, because it is way, way nicer when you get the jailbroken one. Well, I mean, you don't need to buy it jailbroken. You could just jailbreak it yourself. Blaine Locklear on YouTube has a great video guide for that. So, why this instead of PS Vita? And I'm planning on it. Why either of these versus the Vita? I mean, so with Vita, you can do some emulation, but there's a lot more faffing about, and you have to install all the software yourself. So if you're getting a Vita, the Vita is phenomenal for playing Vita and PSP games. If that's what you're doing, it's great. It also does some emulation, but I personally don't use the Vita for emulation. I end up using, because I have a lot of choices here, I end up using like Android emulators, to be honest. So I feel like a best way of describing how you kind of go about your gaming, at least as a handheld person, I end up having 3 at all times, like, on me usually. I usually have like a big PC handheld, like a Steam Deck or something. I have like a quick small handheld emulator, like the Anbernic SP here. And then I usually have like a middle ground emulator, something that's like I can give to somebody else if I'm sitting at like the beach or something, or sitting somewhere that I want to chat with somebody or play the same games. I'll bring like a Android emulator, because the apps just work really easily. So if you want to play like, oh, I don't know, you play some sort of game where you guys can work together over Wi-Fi, 2 Android handhelds are no-brainer. It works pretty well. I have not tried Later on my Odin 2 Mini. Honestly, I've been really enjoying it as a Android device, and just using it to like mostly play Android-based games. And that's why I recently did like a top 5 Android games for the beginning of 2025, because there's so many good Android games getting ports for or regular PC games or Steam games getting ports for Android specifically, and I really like them. Buster, are they faster than the Vita? I would say probably. I don't know how to quantify that, but the Vita will play Vita games at native speed, and these probably won't play Vita games at native speed, because the Vita software isn't great on Android. I've never been able to get it to work properly. I've Retro Handhelds 24. I was really surprised. I honestly had, before I started this YouTube channel, I had pretty much written Android games off as like garbage kids play. I was completely wrong. Stuff like they have Hunt Down 20 Minutes Till Dawn. I don't know what it is, but on my last vacation, I loaded this up in the airport, and I just immediately got sucked in. I don't know what was going on, but it's just like it's kind of like a Brotato type of game, where and all of the controls don't really work that well, but it's so simple, and you just kind of walk around and you're just shooting stuff. So it's kind of like the roguelite type of game that it's not a crazy game, but the enemies come in from all the different sides. They end up getting more and bigger, and they end up doing scarier things, and you get to, as you collect these little dots of green stuff, so there's not much going on in this game. You end up leveling up and getting different powers, and you can get different stuff, and you can take damage, and there's a bunch of different builds you can do to try and, face the horde. And it honestly surprised me. Like, there's a level in the game, and that's how quick it is, and each one of the rounds is 10 minutes, or in quick mode, or 20 minutes. And it's kind of like Brotato, where you're like, you go in, you play a round of 10, and then that's it. You got your cash or whatever for the round, and then you can go off and put it to sleep, and that's it. Yes, like Vampire Survivors, exactly. The it just surprised me. I didn't really understand that they've been doing so many things, and like Google has a Play service now where it's like $3 to $5 a month, and you get basically access. It's kind of like either the Xbox Live Store or the PlayStation Store of here's all of our games that are pretty much free. We'll give them to you for free if you get this package. So I haven't done that yet. I've just been spending I mean, apps are so cheap. I usually end up spending like $2 to $15 on a app, and I'm like, I think Hunt Down was like $5, or like the new Turnip Boy game. Like everything's like $5. It's never that expensive, and I feel like I get a decent amount of gaming done on the go in these Android games. So I highly recommend them. I don't even know if Vampire Survivors is definitely on here. I don't know if I have it downloaded here or not, but I definitely like Android gaming more than I thought I would. Power World on Android. I don't know. I know you can play it through the Xbox app. Let's see here. I do not see it as a native app, but you can do it through the go away, please. Thank you. You can do it through the Xbox app, which they also did something weird recently with the Xbox app. They got rid of the apps they have on the store. They're still there, of course, but they're changed to like a when you download it, it tells you to go use it through a browser window and re-download it this different way. But I've noticed it's a little more useful. But yeah, you can play Power World on here. Oh, fat fingers. Yeah, you can play Xbox games on it. That's why these things are so cool now. Oh, it's searching through the stupid store and not. I do have to say their app is not like, I don't know how it changes on every frickin' device. Am I even in the right app? Game Pass? Oh, the Indiana Jones one. I mean, if you haven't played that game yet, that game is awesome. We just did a podcast. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I think I'm even on the wrong frickin' app. Because Xbox is a pain in the butt. It's this one, that's right. Cloud gaming. Yeah, so it launches through a browser window now. I know people always look at these devices and they're like, oh, they're emulators. That's all they do. I'm like, no, it's just Android. It's still just an awesome, like, it's just an awesome gaming device. So like, when the Logitech Cloud came out, it was just billed as like a streaming device, and most people were like, oh, it doesn't emulate that much. I'm like, yeah, because it's going to be streaming stuff from your Xbox or from Xbox's servers, which, if you've tried it, you can get Xbox Game Pass to run on like a potato. I don't know what they've done with their streaming algorithm, but it rocks. They'll just drop packets and they'll keep the resolution super low, and it'll just be nice and crisp. Yeah, I do have a PS5, and I do have the PlayStation. I think I have the PS Remote Play app. Yeah. Ooh, I'm running out of battery. Give me 1 second. Oh, I think I gotta sign into the stupid thing. Let's see here. And I don't even know my password. Yes, I have that, but let me show you a little bit of Xbox first. Let's see here. Yeah, just loads up and plays. It does occasionally have issues, but I think the amount they've done in the last few years to get game streaming just on frickin' anything is awesome. Yeah, anything you can play on your Xbox, or even if you don't have an Xbox and you have access to Xbox Live Ultimate, you can actually just play it on your phone. So hooking up your phone with a controller, you end up easily just playing whatever game you normally play on your Xbox. Yeah, I'm a big proponent for streaming too. I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm streaming to YouTube right now. I'm also watching my stream, and then I'm also playing games on my Wi-Fi. So it's like, I have a gig up and down, so that's going to depend on, like, you're definitely going to want to make sure you have a half-decent connection. So, let's see if this works here. So I'm in there, and my controllers all work. Nope, I don't want to quit game, but I would like to full screen this. See, this is the stuff you don't see on the videos, where it takes me 20 minutes to faff about with why is this doing this now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it gives me a weird issue. Yeah, see, it's right there, but... oh. Now it's full screen. That's much better. Again, this is the only problem I have with the Retroid ones, man. The screen just gets so frickin'... oh, and I also have this game in cinematic mode, so it doesn't look the greatest in cinematic mode on a really, really tiny screen. But, I mean, yeah, I'm over here pouring wine like I normally would, figuring out little traps. And, I mean, it took seconds to load this up. Now, I am on Wi-Fi. I don't know how great this would be if it was on cell, but I've had people comment in the comment sections that they can play games on cell data totally fine. And I would even think that you could probably get a SIM card into a few of these. I don't know if Retroid has that option, but they should have this option going forward, because being able to... it flipped. Being able to play your games from a SIM card, people will do that. I don't know if I'd pay for it, but people will. Oh, an overlay? Yeah, I don't know how to do it either. Xbox support. We'll try it. We'll try it some other time. I'm actually I gotta go upstairs. It's time to make dinner. Can you also play disc games in your PS5, or can you only play stuff off the streaming services? So for PS5, it's different. You're not streaming from a cloud service. So Sony does have a cloud service, and maybe I'll do, since streaming is so popular, and I think that there's a lot of questions around it, maybe that's the next vertical live stream I'll do. I'll talk about some of the services and how they all work. So we'll leave that for next stream, and I don't know if I'll do it next week. YouTube's pushing a lot of this. I'm in their creator boot camp, so I've been talking back and forth with the YouTube Shorts people to see what people like to do. Yeah, we'll do that next time. We'll go through and we'll look at all the streaming services. I have a PlayStation Portal. I'll make sure all the other handhelds are charged, and I'll go through to make sure we got Xbox Game Pass. I tried NVIDIA's streaming service, and it worked really well. but that's a different. That's something else I could talk about too. When you get a chance, better connection for 1080p screen. Test I'll play through. Yeah. Oh, you mean my current connection? I think the vertical live that I'm streaming is a 1080p connection, but I'll check this. This is the first time I've done a live stream before, so I'll check a few things and see if I could do something any better. So, all right, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night and have a good weekend. It's supposed to be warm if you're on the East Coast here, so enjoy. When I will announce it on my my page, so I'll put it on the comment section. I don't know. Oh, PX Play gives you 1080p streaming. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. All right, I'll catch you all later. I'm gonna go eat because I'm starving. All I've had is hummus, and it's time for food. And I'm on the East Coast, so it's like 7:30 here. So, all right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.